Hello guys and welcome back to what might be a new series on this channel. Today I am joined by Wick. We have partnered up in giveaways in the past, have big plans for the future, and he is going to give us the rundown of the match card.
Okay, so we do have in the buy-in Thunder Rosa and Rio versus Brick Baker and Reba. I thought it was Rebel, but whatever. Street Fight Brian Cage and Ricky Starks versus Sting and Darby Allin. Matt Hardy versus Hangman. Young Bucks versus Jericho and MJF. Miro and Kip Sabian versus the Best Friends. Face of the Revolution ladder match. Sheeta versus Mizami. Casino Tag Team Battle Royal. And then the Exploding Death Match, as well as Paul White announcing the major signing. So I guess we can start off with the buy-in. Who do you got, Marty?
I think Thunder Rosa and Rio are going to take this one home.
It kind of depends, because I think the winning team either way. If Rio wins, then she's gonna end up facing Sheeta and probably beating her. If Brick Baker wins, she's gonna end up facing Sheeta and winning. I'm gonna go
Personally,
with Rio because she's like just returned.
personally, I think Britt Baker would be the next best candidate for the AEW World Champion. We had Nyla Rose as the World Champion before, but other than that, it's been
Babyface.
baby faces, yeah. And I think Britt Baker will make a perfect heel women's champion. And I
Oh
think her
yeah,
reign
she's
will
gonna be have
last.
such an annoying reign.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing. I think the reign will last like a couple months, give or take, maybe 2, 3, maybe even more.
Yeah, I think she'll have a shorter reign since she's going on for like a year now, isn't she?
Yeah, around a year.
It's like 200 days or so. I know she's the longest reign.
Yeah, she beat. It's over 277 now. She beat John Moxley's longest reign, like overall in the whole AEW
Actually, let
business
me look.
for world champions. I'm pretty sure it's over 177 now. I know she passed John Moxley in his reign.
Just looking. She won the title at August 22nd. So no, actually, no, she didn't. I'm not too sure actually. Double or Nothing. So May 23rd. So yeah, she's coming up on a year. She beat Nyla Rose at Double or Nothing at May 23rd.
Yeah, we haven't had that many women's champions for AEW yet.
I mean, it's on par with the men's
The men's,
world
yeah,
title.
I think it's great how they're doing it. The like world titles for the men's and women's, they have really long reigns compared to like the TNT champion or tag team champions. They have shorter reigns.
Speaking of TNT, next up we do have Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. With the return of Sting, I'm hyped about it in Darby Allin. I personally think, I mean, you got to have Sting go over here. Sting and Darby Allin. I think it's going to be an awesome match, too.
Oh, I'm really excited for this street fight as well. Some people are saying like, oh, Sting shouldn't be fighting because he's so old and stuff, but I think the man's got a lot left in him, and I think
I
him
know,
and
he didn't
Darby
get to
Allin.
retire. He didn't get to retire the way he wanted. He retired at Night of Champions 2015. That was his last match
Yeah,
against Seth Rollins.
and I
I
think
think. Oh, you good. You're
all
good.
right. I think Sting and Darby Allin would make it's like a great tag team as well. Because Darby Allin's had like the face paint his whole like AEW time, and it kind of resembles Sting's almost, but not like the full, but the half size. I think just them together is a perfect duo.
Well, they're both pretty much the same characters, loners who like brood. But I personally think Sting would have only went to like maybe the WrestleMania that year, because I mean 2015. Yeah, I think he would have retired at the next Mania. But I mean, we're seeing that a lot now. Wrestlers who had to retire early coming back to have that final run. It's just the modern medicine making it possible.
Edge, Daniel Bryan, maybe
Christian,
Christian.
hopefully,
He showed up at the Royal Rumble, but I don't know what he's doing. I know he's not under contract to AEW yet, or
or
not to AEW.
WWE.
To yeah, he's not under any contract in a wrestling
But
promotion
that's
yet.
actually rumored. It's
It
rumored
is
that he's signing one
rumored that he's
this
signing with
weekend.
AEW.
No, it's rumored that he signed a contract with WWE. I saw a
Oh,
report like 2 days or today even, I think.
yeah, this Paul White signing him later we're going to talk about has lots of options. But anyways, my pick is Sting and Darby Allin to take
Yeah,
this
I
one
think it's gonna
home.
be the street fight to kind of ease Sting back in, get any ring rust from 6 years off.
I don't see him being in a long-term wrestling career. Maybe him and Darby Allin team up a few times, then he becomes Darby Allin's manager or just behind the scenes. I don't really see him wrestling full time.
I think he's gonna feud with Cody after this. I think we're gonna get to that later, but I think there's a couple options with Cody going forward. But
Yeah,
moving on now, let's move on to a pretty unforgettable or forgettable match in my opinion, the big money match with Matt Hardy and Hangman.
Something that I don't like about AEW is they have so many gimmick matches. Like they had the big money match, the street fight, um, Face of Revolution ladder match, exploding barbed wire death match. Just so many things that are gimmicky compared to like just normal wrestling
This is
matches.
a normal match, isn't it? It's just all the big money match.
No,
Well,
so this
the
match,
stipulation is Matt Hart or Hangman Page's pay or something.
so whoever wins gets the other one's first quarterly year pay or something like that. I don't really
Yeah.
know, but they could have chosen lots of other like stipulations and stuff other than a big money match. I know it does match Matt Hardy's gimmick, and Matt Hardy did say a few days ago in an interview, I forget with who it was, that just his broken gimmick didn't fit with the AEW audience, so he decided to change it up.
I think Matt Hardy was not a good pickup for AEW.
Yeah, they have
But
been.
that's coming from someone I never was a big fan of the broken gimmick. I'm just not a big Matt
Yeah,
Hardy fan.
I've always hated the broken gimmick. Just in WWE and AEW and stuff. I just hated it. It's so stupid. So I think the big money, Matt Hardy gimmick is a lot better than the broken gimmick.
Well, I think they also it sucks because Brody Lee sadly passed away. I kind of feel like this would be Brody Lee versus Hangman in this match because I mean they were going with Hangman joining Dark Order, and then I personally think Brody Lee would have returned, and Hangman wouldn't have liked the way that Brody Lee was treating Dark Order because I mean he was really abusive with like the papers and stuff. I think we would have seen Hangman versus Brody Lee in this spot right now
I think
in a
honestly,
perfect world.
I think Adam Page was going to join the Dark Order if all went according to plan. Again, wrestling
Yeah,
against
and
the
then
Brody
fight
Lee,
and fight
but
Brody Lee.
I feel it might have been long term, honestly, but they've been doing a lot of stuff with him joining like tag teams, like with Matt Hardy, Dark Order, and stuff like that. And it's really annoying because Adam Page, I thought he was going to be the first AEW World Champion, if I'm being honest. Like, he has so much potential, and they keep throwing him into, like, trying to fight tag teams. Like, he needs someone else to be able to win matches.
Well, I like it. I mean, he's broken after Kenny Omega like turned on him and beat him. So he's gonna slow. It's gonna be a slow burn. I guarantee he's the one who takes the title off Kenny Omega. But yeah, I think this match would have been Brody Lee versus Hangman Page. If Brody Lee won, then Hangman had to join Dark Order.
Anyways, who was your
But
pick to win?
Hangman, and hopefully Matt Hardy doesn't show up that much.
Same here. I have Hangman Page winning this matchup.
Okay, so next up we do have the tag team championship match: the Young Bucks versus Chris Jericho and MJF. I want to hear your opinion on this because I do have a couple options in a perfect world, and my opinion, what I think is going to happen, and then in a perfect world, what's
So, I
my
think
fantasy booking.
in, like, a perfect world, Chris Jericho and MJF just win clean. But there's lots of options for this to happen because there's the Good Brothers and so many people from like Impact Wrestling and stuff, and there's also Sammy Guevara. So I can see this match ending in just a terrible way, like with someone costing the other one the match. So either like the Good Brothers come down and cost Chris Jericho and MJF and stuff like that. Maybe Wardlow helps Chris Jericho and MJF win. But I think honestly, we're gonna see Sammy Guevara show up somewhere during the match, and either A, he's gonna cost Chris Jericho and MJF, or it's been a ruse all along, and he's gonna help them win the titles.
Well, I kind of think that the winner of the Casino Battle Royal really influences this match because if you have Santana and Ortiz winning, then Chris Jericho and MJF are winning to further along the inner circle. But then again, if you have the Good Brothers as a surprise entrant in that battle royal and win, it's Young Bucks versus Good Brothers. So I have no clue. Plus, the Good Brothers are facing Finn and who is it? Is it Finn Juice? I think it is. It's Chase Owens and
Juice
Juice
Robinson, yeah,
Robinson.
Finn Juice, that's what it is.
Yeah, and I don't think it's Chase Robinson. It's Finley's son. And Juice Robinson. They might beat the Good Brothers, and if so, I think they're going to AEW, and they might beat the Young Bucks. So it really depends. In a perfect world, I think I'd have Sammy Guevara show up and cost Chris Jericho and MJF, and have the Young Bucks retain and then face the Good Brothers. But what I think is going to happen, I think Chris Jericho and MJF are going to win, and we're going to see them versus Santana and Ortiz.
Yeah, it would be great storytelling though. Sammy Guevara and like this whole thing was just a play, and it goes perfect with the inner circles like gimmick. So like they acted like Sammy Guevara left the inner circle and stuff like that, and he just shows up, helps Chris Jericho and MJF win, and the inner circle is better than ever.
Yeah, we'll see. Now moving on to the stupidest match Like, why is this even on the card? This should be in the buy-in versus the Britt Baker match. Miro and Kip versus Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. This feud has been going on for freaking ever.
It's been
Like,
going on
they're
since
feud
he debuted in
they're
AEW.
feuding over a video game that got broken.
That and it's just such a stupid thing. But
This is worse. This is like a W like a, the low tier WWE storylines. Come on.
like the um Bobby Lashley and Lana storyline they did, that was like
Yeah,
stupid. And the Drake
he left
Maverick as
WWE
well.
for he left WWE because he was in wedding angles constantly. What do you know? He's in another wedding angle at AEW.
He left because he was wedding angles and he thought he wasn't being used to his full potential. And it's the same thing happening in AEW.
I know they said it's a slow build. They are gonna rebuild him. Dude, have him come in and be a beast. That's enough. He's built up. He's freaking awesome. He shouldn't be in this crap.
Yeah. I have Miro and Sabian winning this, but also I think we could finally see that big build of Miro, and Miro ends up turning on Sabian during the match and just goes
Yeah,
on a singles run.
my prediction is Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor win, and then Miro destroys Kip. Hopefully, Jesus Christ, hopefully.
I just want this feud to end. It's been so stupid the entire time, and
I mean, and Miro's a sidekick to Kip, who's literally almost a
half the
jobber.
size. Yeah,
He's
half the
like a
size, the
jobber
jobber
too.
and stuff. And
I think he's
personally,
really talented, but like he's lower mid card.
yeah, personally, I don't see Orange Cassidy breaking out into anything higher than stuff like this. I mean, everyone loves his gimmick, but personally, I'm not a fan of it. It's like
He's TNT level or TNT champion level only. There's no way he'd ever be world champion.
the way I look at it, if they did this gimmick in WWE, it would be crapped on. But like in AEW, it's like, oh, let's praise Orange Cassidy and stuff. Yeah, he's a good wrestler, but his gimmick itself, there's no way he will become even close to a world champion in the future if he does not change
Mm.
something up.
No, I don't think he'll ever. I'm a big AEW fan. I really like it now. I wasn't at first, but it's like really grown on me. But God, one of the most off-putting thing is this freaking fan base. The AEW fan base is so fucking toxic. I
It
mean,
is really
you
toxic.
cannot say one thing bad about AEW without them jumping down your throat.
And the ratings between NXT and AEW, yeah, people will maybe watch AEW more than NXT. NXT was a developmental brand, and they decided to break off. AEW or NXT is moving to Tuesdays reportedly, in April. I think it's April 12th or 13th. So I'm really excited to see how the ratings will be then compared to NXT and AEW.
I don't think it. I think AEW might go up at like 100,000. I don't think they're gonna go up that much because the nights when AEW was running unopposed, they barely had a jump at all. But the nights when NXT ran it unopposed, they had a massive jump. So the audience don't overlap that much in AEW side, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But we'll see. We'll see if they actually move over. But
I look at
I don't really see it as like a lot of AEW fans are like, oh, AEW beat NXT. I think the only reason why they're actually moving over is because NHL is coming, so hockey is kind of pushing them off their time slot. Because they do not want to give that any potential viewers up to AEW.
Yeah. And I look at this neutral. I appreciate the wrestling in itself. I watch New Japan all the time. If I'm up at late at night or something, I'll watch New Japan. Impact not so much because it's not really the greatest wrestling brand. I watch ROH here and there and stuff like that, but I'm just like an open-minded wrestling fan.
I
I
don't like
appreciate
Impact Ring. It's too loud.
Yeah, but I appreciate the product that they're giving out, and that's how I look at it. I'll watch NXT and AEW maybe at the same time, or stuff like that, or I'll decide, hey, which match card scenes that'll give me like a better fun time to watch, and I'll like maybe rotate between them. Just I won't watch one specific show. I'm an open-minded wrestling fan.
Yeah, me too. Now, speaking of open-minded and other wrestling shows, we have Paul White making an announcement regarding AEW's next major signing. Now, this has got a lot of people hyped up. I think a little too hyped, but a lot of people are getting caught up on what he said. They're saying it's going to be a Hall of Fame worthy wrestler, and everyone's yelling like, "Oh, if it's Hall of Fame, then they can't be in the Hall of Fame already, or only people in the Hall of Fame." I just think it was just a statement that probably shouldn't have been said because it's just confusing people. What do you think?
So there's lots of ways this can go out. AEW kind of did something like this in the past with like a big major signing and stuff, and it was just a big letdown. And
Who
the
was it?
um, I cannot remember who it was, but they announced like a big, huge signing, and the signing was really stupid. Uh,
If they do that, they will give so much bad will. This is getting so hyped up. It's
this
almost too hyped.
is, and I think the reason it's getting so hyped up is because Paul White is doing it compared to just people who haven't been in
No,
like
Tony Khan, he was on a podcast and he was hyping it up too, really much, really big. It's a
yeah.
male superstar and it was one of his favorites growing up. So it's not any current guys.
Yeah, I was thinking like I was weighing in on the option that maybe Okada because
No
Okada
way.
could be in the cross deal with Impact and New Japan and AEW.
There's no way though because they're doing the New Japan Cup right now, and you
Yeah,
have to quarantine like 2 weeks before you get to the U.S. through Japan. So that's not an option, sadly.
but anyways, options that I have is like I'm just going with older talent. So Kurt Angle, I don't think he will. Mark
I'm
Henry,
going Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle. He's got his podcast and he's been talking a lot about how much he hated his retirement. I think he has a one final run, maybe a year, not a year, maybe like 4 or 5 matches total in AEW before he retires and becomes a trainer or something.
yeah, everyone. I
Dude,
love CM Punk.
I've heard some crazy shit like, oh, it's gonna be John Cena, it's gonna be Brock Lesnar.
No way that
Like,
happens. If
no,
anything, Brock Lesnar will face Bobby Lashley for the world title sometime in the future.
if you think John Cena's gonna sign with AEW, you're on something. Brock Lesnar, he will sign with anyone as long as they pay him enough. So, I mean, Brock Lesnar is a small possibility. I'd say maybe 5%, in my opinion. I've seen Christian. I mean, he's done it
See,
before with
that's what I was.
TNA.
That's what I was thinking though. So we had it's not my pick, but just Christian. He was in the Royal Rumble and stuff, and we thought maybe we would see him like in the role after, maybe helping Edge sometime around, but we haven't seen him at all or heard about him whatsoever. So it leaves a lot of his fans speculating like maybe possibly he's not signed with the company and he's signed with AEW because we haven't yet to see him since the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I mean, there's a small chance it is Christian. Don't get
Uh,
me wrong.
CM Punk, I'm a huge CM Punk fan, but the fans are getting ridiculous. Anytime Raw's in Chicago, oh, CM Punk's gonna show up. Every time a mystery person on WWE, oh, it's CM Punk. And that's the same way that's happening now with the signing. People are like, oh, it's CM Punk. The fact of the matter is, CM Punk there's a 99% chance he will never go back to professional wrestling.
I think he'll be back eventually.
I mean, he was in a role, like, not with WWE, but it kind of was. It was a really weird thing.
With
And
backstage,
yeah,
is that what
backstage because it was like a WWE program, but it was on Fox, and it was just a whole mess. But they've WWE has been name dropping CM Punk quite a bit recently, but it hasn't been like on TV. It's been like after shows, like Daniel Bryan last week. He talked about CM Punk and his title reign. But anyways, for the Paul White signing, oh, I think I'm gonna go with RVD. RVD's
Oh yeah,
contract
RVD.
his
Yeah, that's a
contract was
good
up
call
a
prediction.
while ago with Impact. I don't think he signed a new contract, and if he goes, Katie Forbes will go, and I think RVD is he has potential, but he's way out of his prime. If I'm being honest, maybe he just
I'm going
needs
Kurt
different
Angle.
superstars to go against. But my pick is going to be RVD.
Yeah, I'm going Kurt Angle. But next up, we have the face of the Revolution ladder match, and there's a mystery aspect in that too
The
with
thing
the
with this
six
though
man.
is Tony Khan said himself that it's not going to be a big surprise. It's going to be like a fun entrant. So it really leaves me guessing of like who it will be.
I don't know. I'm kind of there's a chance. I wouldn't be surprised if the mystery person Paul White announces is going to be in this ladder
No,
match
he
though.
said
This is
that. Tony Khan talked about that. He said that the mystery signee is not the person in the Face of the Revolution ladder match. Tony
yeah,
Khan
but I
said that it's
mean
going
they
to
could
be a
still.
fun participant.
There's Matt Caster in there from the Acclaimed. I mean, I feel like that guy he could easily get taken out by the mystery signing and just have him in the match too.
Yeah, that is very possible. Um, I don't really know
I
who
don't
could
know
be
who
the.
this mystery guy could be though, honestly.
I
I'm going with
know
him for the win though, of course, cuz I feel like they're I mean, the last mystery one was Brian Cage and
Brian
he
Cage,
won.
yeah, and he won.
And
But
then the other mystery one, no, Matt Sydal was in that too, but he didn't win. I don't
yeah,
know. Let's just weigh the options. Oh, I bet it could possibly be Ethan Page. He just got done with Impact. I wouldn't be surprised with Ethan Page.
I think it'd be Ethan. It can be Ethan Page. It could, if
Um,
they really wanted just a stupid entrant, Hornswoggle.
no, I don't think they do that.
But I don't see that
I
happening.
think it's going to be someone who signs with them though, and Ethan Page makes sense. I can't think of anyone else off the top of my head though.
I'm just weighing the options of what Tony Khan said himself. He said it's not going to be like the signing. It's going to be a just fun participant. So I'm thinking of like who would give the fans like a good fun time and stuff. That's not really a big powerhouse.
I mean, Ethan Page has his Karate Man alter ego. Wouldn't be surprised there at all either.
Yeah, it's Karate Man Ultra Ego. I could see that happening. I'm gonna go with his Karate Ego of Ethan Page.
I'm just gonna go Ethan Page, or we could see something crazy like Moose. Like maybe we see some TNA aspect. Maybe TNA invades. That'd be kind of sick.
Speaking of Moose, his transformation has been insane. He's got like a six pack on his six pack. It is mind
Moose is
boggling.
awesome. He really showed up in that 6-man against the Good Brothers and Kenny.
No, yeah, for sure. But anyways, my pick to win this match is Lance Archer.
Really? I'm going mystery, but I do think that I do have a kind of a perfect world. I think the mystery entrance will win, but if I was booking this, I'd go with Cody.
The
I
thing
would
with
go.
that,
No, listen. I'd go Cody, where he officially turns heel. He and the revival, FTR, right?
yeah,
Yeah, FTR comes out, helps him, and so does Sean Spears, and we get that Four Horsemen group that they really keep teasing.
yeah, I've been seeing that a lot of people talking about that, like Cody
Well,
turning
they've been
heel,
teasing it for years,
and I think this
but
will be a
but
perfect
like since
opportunity.
AEW happened,
Yeah, I think this will be a perfect opportunity. Pentagon Jr. and Scorpio Sky are just in this match for high spots. Max Caster is gonna be the person who just gets demolished, in my opinion, throughout the
or
whole
gets taken
match.
out, or gets
Um,
taken out.
yeah, so I don't see Cody winning this unless he turns heel, because no way, like he's held the title twice already. But I'm really confused because when AEW first started, there was a match: Chris Jericho versus Cody Rhodes. If Cody lost, he
Versus
never gets
Cody versus
Cody.
Cody.
Yeah. Anyways, if he lost, he would never get a shot at the AEW World Title. And I think that it was so early on, and AEW seems to it's gonna last pretty good for at least 2, 3, 5 years ish. I don't see Cody never winning the world title unless they change something up or something like that.
Well, if I was booking AEW, I'd have Cody win this. Cody wins the TNT title. He's a heel. He's running with the Four Horsemen redone with FTR and Sean Spears. Cody loses the TNT title, then cuts a promo. Well, okay, Cody loses the TNT title at the next pay-per-view. I think it's like maybe Double or Nothing. Just say he loses at Double or Nothing. Later on, he attacks Hangman Page, cuts a promo where he goes, Cody could no longer challenge for the AEW World Title, but I never said anything about Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, that's another
Boom.
thing I was thinking about.
Instant heat. Instant heat makes him the number one heel. He beats Hangman, and then you have Cody in a reign of terror. I think that would be fucking awesome.
I think that would be amazing as well. That's the way I see it though. If Cody ever gets a world title shot, it's like he's a heel and he's just Cody Rhodes instead of Cody, and just like that's how they play it off. I think they
Yeah.
weren't thinking really well because it was so early on into AEW's career, like their show, that they weren't really thinking about long term effects on this.
I kind of think it was his statement as they're not going to put all the attention on the people who founded the company, like Cody, Young Bucks, Omega. But I think Cody, he's like one of the biggest stars in AEW. He needs to win. He needs to win the world titles.
Yeah.
But let's move on. Let's move on to the women's title match, which is Shida versus Mizunami. I mean, you got to go Shida here, I think. I mean, this title tournament thing was put together, just thrown together. Half the matches were on YouTube. A couple were on Bleacher Report. I mean, I don't know why they did this. Their women's division is such an afterthought.
There
Go
was one or
Sheeta.
two matches on television for AEW. The rest were in YouTube and Bleacher, as you said before.
If I was Tony Khan, though, I wouldn't be signing any more big Hall of Fame worthy men wrestlers. I'd be freaking signing some women legends. Like maybe try to get Lita involved. She would instantly legitimize that. Lita, AJ Lee, if they could throw money at her, anybody, Victoria, just get some padding in that division that's so weak.
Yeah, I have Sheeta winning this match and her reign going on, but honestly, their women's division is the worst women's division in every promotion. Impact Wrestling's women's division is
Besides
better than
ROH,
this.
ROH is terrible. I don't even know if ROH
ROH
has a
is,
women's champion anymore.
I don't know if they do, honestly. I've watched a little bit of ROH here and there, but haven't really kept up to date with stuff like that. Um, their women's division really needs to change, though. It's the worst part of AEW. It is their downfall, in my opinion. Their men's division, fantastic. Their tag division, the matches they can
Speaking of
put
their
on,
tag team
fantastic.
division, let's talk about the Battle Royal now. Dude, AEW loves their Battle Royals.
Yeah.
Isn't it every pay-per-view now has had one of these casino Battle Royals?
Yeah, basically.
It's like
And
a Royal Rumble, right? They get randomly drawn. And then
um
The Joker's the final entrance, which is going to be the Good Brothers, in my opinion.
yeah. So there is literally so many tag teams in this match. Bear Country, Dark Order, Inner Circle, The Butcher and
Blade
the
Butcher,
Blade, Private Party,
Top Flight,
Top
Macedon, his
Flight,
brother.
Death Triangle, Varsity Brothers,
So,
SoCal,
so
and so many
do
people.
we know this if both members have to be eliminated, or is it just one?
I'm pretty sure it's the last just person standing in general.
Okay, I'm going Good Brothers on this, or Santana and Ortiz, but I'm going Good Brothers.
There's also a to be announced tag team in this match.
Yeah, the Good Brothers. They're not announced. I'm going with them.
I'm going with, I don't know who it'll be, but I'm going with the to be announced, and it probably will be the Good Brothers. Or maybe we'll see like a really big surprise during this tag team battle royal. But I see none of these tag teams that are announced winning it, besides maybe Death Triangle. But I'm gonna go with to be announced to win this match.
Okay, and I think that just leaves us with the main event.
Well, I want to say one more
The
thing real quick.
oh, what?
So, this match, if they do it how like we were talking about, like where one tag team, another tag team, and stuff, it's gonna take forever. There's like 20 tag teams in this match, so they've got to do something to make it go by faster, because fans will just lose interest at that point.
Well, I think you have the Bear Country. I think they're probably the biggest guys in the battle royal, right?
Yeah,
I think I'd have them go berserk and eliminate a couple teams themselves before they get thrown over, just like the giant spot in every battle royal.
yeah. All right, so the main event.
The exploding barbed wire death match. I think this is gonna be awesome.
Speaking of this, Kenny Omega did post the rules for this match. So,
Oh
three
yeah, I saw that.
sides of the ring ropes will be wrapped in barbed wire. Contact with barbed wire triggers explosives on the corresponding side. Triple hell, which is 3 zones on the floor, wire to explosives. And then a 30-minute countdown timer until all explosive in the ring and around the ring are detonated.
I think that's the finish, right? I think that would
Yeah.
be the finish.
This match literally is the representation of both men getting injured. I don't care what anyone says. Both men, yeah, they put themselves through hell and back, but the amount of stuff in this match and all the barbed wire exploding and stuff like that can cause for serious, serious injuries.
Nah, they'll be fine. This isn't the first one of these, and I'm sure they're gonna have. It's probably gonna be the safest exploding barbed wire death match ever. I mean, I think John Moxley isn't on AEW for a while. I think Renee's about to give birth. He'll get his nice little paternity leave, and I think it will happen. He might even go to Japan. Who knows? I think he's just gonna take a break from AEW though. This
So,
is John Moxley's little vacation. I think he'll return in like the summer.
speaking of that, so I think John Moxley is trying to get so many insane matches out of the way before the kid's born. 'Cause when his kid's born, he's got to play it safe, and he can't be doing all this stuff that he's doing now. Like he's been doing like MMA style type wrestling,
Oh,
um,
Bloodsport. That shit's awesome.
Bloodsport,
That's
yeah,
safe though. That's safe.
exploding barbed wire deathmatch. He's been doing like a bunch of stuff that's really crazy, and I think maybe possibly he's doing it all before his kid's born to like be able to do it and have fun with it. Because the fact of the matter is, when his kid's born, he's got to play his career safer. Because Moxley now is a loose cannon. He will do anything and everything to give the fans a good show, and he will put his life literally on the line for the match.
No, I think you're being dramatic. I don't think he's gonna stop. This is John Mox. This is what he's always done. Before WWE, he was always doing this shit. Have you not seen the video where he got cut with a buzzsaw?
Yeah,
He's nuts. I think this is just John Moxley, and I think this is just gonna be a little break before he comes back. I don't know what the hell they're gonna do with John Moxley. I don't see him ever going for the TNT title. I think you
I
almost have to
know.
have Cody turn heel or something,
That's the
and have
thing.
John Moxley lead the fight against the Four Horsemen. But I
That's
have
the
Kenny Omega winning this.
So do I. That's the thing about this though, is with wrestlers like John Moxley and some of these people that have been signing, it's like world title, nothing under that. John Moxley's the perfect example of that. Like, why would John Moxley go for mid card when he's been fighting like upper card his whole career, and like he's been doing all this insane stuff. I don't think we'll ever see. We will see John Moxley as TNT champion, but something will have to change for that to happen.
I don't know. I don't ever see him really doing that.
Yeah.
But I think there'll be a post-match angle here. Who do you think Kenny Omega's going to be fighting with next? What's his next feud, do you think?
Mm. I'm thinking either Adam Page or someone from Impact.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen is we're going to see the invasion of Impact after this. I think they're gonna come down. There's gonna be Moose, Rich Swan. Who else is there? Alex Shelley. No, Alex Shelley's not doing it. Chris Sabin, James Storm. I think we're gonna see them come in. They're gonna lay out Kenny Omega, maybe even further lay out John Moxley. I think we're gonna see the Impact invasion.
Yeah, so something that really threw me off. Moxley fought Kenta a few weeks ago on Japan Strong, and I thought for sure Kenta was going to take the title away from Moxley, and I thought we were just going to see Moxley off of wrestling in general for a long time, like off AEW, off New Japan, and all of that, so he can tend to his kid and stuff like that. But he retained the title against Kenta, so that really, really threw me off. He's still the champion over in New Japan, and
Eh,
I think possibly we could see Moxley on like New Japan Strong here and there and stuff. Because it's like not really insane TV broadcasted wrestling. It's sort of like a live stream, lower, dumbed down wrestling show. I don't think we'll see him like in actual New Japan Pro Wrestling, like the big shows or AEW for a while after the kid's born. But I don't see Moxley winning this whatsoever.
I do have two perfect world scenarios. So in my perfect world, I mean, my prediction is Impact attacks Kenny Omega afterwards. We get the Impact invasion. In a perfect world, it would be the Good Brothers helping Omega win, and maybe even the Young Bucks helping him. And then we have a real Bullet Club invasion. If this was no Corona, none of this Corona stuff's going on, and people were able to free travel, I would have Kenny Omega, Good Brothers, get confronted by Jay White and Gorilla Zibes.
Because that's the thing now with
That would be
there's
awesome.
it's AEW x New Japan x Impact Wrestling. And this leaves the wrestling world changed forever, honestly. All three of these companies, with the talent they have and stuff, is insane. New Japan, mainly, like, in my opinion, New Japan is the best wrestling promotion there is. They put on fantastic shows, have great rosters, great matches, all of that stuff. And New Japan, with just AEW themselves, fantastic. So many options for crazy matches and stuff like that.
I think some of New Japan's latest booking stuff's been a little weird, like giving Evil the title and then having just doing the double championship dash in general with the Bushi unifier Naito unifying the titles and then going after the whole year with a Bushi winning it. Like just split them up. The IC title is so nice. I don't know why they're breaking it up like or unifying it.
Yeah, it's
But
really
then in
weird.
another perfect world, though, Kenny Omega stands bloody, broken with his title, and then you hear a coin drop, and Okada comes out, and we kind of get a stare down, and that would be Omega's next feud. But that can't happen because of the new.
Yeah. So that's the thing though with New Japan and AEW. AEW is sort of like it's a weekly basis show compared to New Japan. So it'd be really hard to when the pandemic, if the pandemic wasn't going on or when it's over and stuff, bringing AEW stars over to New Japan. So I only see this like cross promotion going with New Japan's wrestlers going to AEW or Impact Wrestling.
I disagree. It's so easy. Once the Corona shit's over, they'll be able to fly in, do the New Japan show. I mean, New Japan, they won't be on any of the road to shows where there's multi tag team matches, but they'll do all the big shows, and I think they'll fly back and they'll be perfect. They can miss a Dynamite for some of the people.
Yeah, I think the perfect world though is Okada and AEW. Those dream matches that could happen there would be fantastic.
But sadly, Okada is hurt really bad right now.
Yeah, and this whole pandemic's done everything off, but I think the pandemic maybe furthered this cross promotion though. It's probably been in the works forever, and if the pandemic wasn't going on though and this cross promotion happened, we would have seen a lot more crazy stuff now with like a bunch of New Japan guys going to Impact. I think the pandemic has delayed a lot of this stuff, like the Blood and Guts match, that it may not
Never happened.
happen.
Okay, so let's go through this one last time real fast. For the buy-in, Thunder Rosa and Rio versus Britt Baker and Reba. I'm going Thunder Rosa and Rio.
I am going Thunder Rosa and Rio as well.
Then we have Brian Cage and Ricky Starks versus Sting and Darby Allin Street Fight. Sting and
Sting and
Darby Allin for
Allen,
me. The big money match, Matt Hardy and Hangman Page. Hangman.
Hangman, yep.
Young Bucks versus Chris Jericho and MJF. That's kind of up in the air for me, but I'm going to go with Chris Jericho and MJF.
Same there, just up the same. Yeah, it's up in the air for me as well.
Miro and Kip versus Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. I'm going with Orange Cassidy, I guess.
I'm going with Miro and Kip.
Face of the Revolution ladder match. I'm going Cody, actually.
I'm going Lance Archer.
Shida versus Mizuzumi.
Sheeta.
I think it's butchered that name. I'm going Shida as well. Casino Tag Team Battle Royal.
To
I'm
be
going Good
announced.
Brothers.
Yeah, I'm going
And
to be
then
announced
Kenny
after
Omega
this.
winning the barbed wire death match. And then Paul White, I think he's going to announce Kurt Angle's return.
I'm thinking RVD for that.
But let us know in the comments what are your guys' predictions, and we do thank you guys for watching.
And I'll
And
see you
then
guys next time.